we meet up with Timmy and Tommy as they have just finished playing through Final Fantasy II for the afternoon, worried that their mother might be home at any minute.
But we're so close to the end, big bro. Can we really not keep playing? No, we shouldn't. Mom should get here around 6. We can probably convince her to let us play after dinner, at which point we should be able to finish the game. Also, we thought we were done 4 hours ago, man. Clearly this game is much longer than either of us thought, so who knows how much longer it will take us. I hope we can finish it by tonight, but there's no guarantee. Trying to rush in the next half hour seems like a bad idea all around. I'll go make a phone call in the meantime. Why don't you go watch some TV downstairs or read something? I guess you're right. I wish Mom was here already. The way it's gonna literally kill me.
But Tommy had left the conversation before Tammy's performance of pretend impatience, and he had gone into the bedroom, closing the door behind him.
Rude.
Timmy thought to himself.
Who is he calling at this time anyways?
Shaking off what just happened, Timmy decided that it was time to make good on last night's deception, and spend some actual time reading through his programming book. So he picked it up, went downstairs in the comfy chair, and started reading.
Alright, where did I leave off the book last time? Ah, yes. Bits, bytes, and binary. If you've been using microcomputers for a while, you probably have a good idea of what their memory is. Internally, it's the part of the computer that holds data and computer programs to which the computer's central processing unit, CPU, needs instantaneous access. There are also external memory storage devices, such as hard disks and CD-ROMs, which hold data and computer programs to which the CPU eventually will need access. More specifically, internal memory is a sequence of miniaturized circuits that can hold numeric values in the form of electrical voltages. In a PC-compatible microcomputer, each of these circuits holds the equivalent of an 8-digit binary number, otherwise known as a byte. A binary number is a number made up of only two kinds of digits, zeros and ones. So, some 8-digit binary numbers would be 1001011, 011011110, and 11101000. Like the decibel numbers that we ordinarily use for counting, which use 10 different digits 0 through 9, binary numbers can represent any possible integer numeric value, that is, any possible whole number. An 8-digit binary number, however, can only represent numbers that fall into the range 0000000 to 11111111, which in decimal is 0 to 255. Thus, each computer memory circuit holds an electronic representation of a number in that range. At the most primitive level, most of the work performed by a computer program involves storing numeric values in memory circuits, retrieving them from these circuits, performing arithmetic operations on them, and putting the results of those operations back into memory circuits. If you program microcomputers in a high-level language, such as C, you may not be aware of the degree to which these memory circuits figure into your algorithms, because high-level languages are designed to hide the details of the CPU's interactions with memory. But if you program in a low-level language, such as assembly language, you'll often find yourself making direct reference to the computer's memory circuitry. Memory addresses. Every memory circuit in a computer has an identifying number called an address, which makes it easier for the numeric values stored in that circuit to be retrieved at a later time. In a computer with 1 megabyte, or meg, of memory, there are 1,048,576 separate memory circuits, arranged in a sequence so that the first circuit has address 0, and the last circuit has address 1,048,575. Usually we represent these addresses in the hexadecimal numbering system, which uses 16 different digits, from 0 to 9 plus the first 6 letters of the alphabet, to represent numeric values. Although this might seem to complicate matters somewhat, the mathematical relationship between hexadecimal and binary actually makes it simpler to represent numbers in this manner than in decimal. In hexadecimal, the memory circuits in a 1 meg computer have addresses 0 cross 000000 and to 0 cross FFFFF. In C, The zero cross prefix is used to identify a hexadecimal number. Oh, so it's 0x. Sometimes it will also use the assembly language convention of identifying hexadecimal numbers with a trailing H, as in FFFFFH. Because of the way in which the IBM PC's memory is referenced by the earlier processors in the 80x86 series, it's traditional and usually necessary to reference the addresses in the PC's memory using two numbers rather than one, like this, 5000:018A. The first of these numbers is called the segment, the second is the offset. To obtain an absolute address, that is the sort of address discussed in the previous paragraph, from a segment to offset address, you multiply the segment by 16 and add it to the offset. Fortunately, this is easy to do in hexadecimal, in which multiplying by 16 is similar to multiplying by 10 in decimal. To multiply a hexadecimal number by 16, simply shift every digit in the number one position to the left and add a 0 in the least significant digit position, i.e. at the right end of the number. For instance, 0x5000 multiplied by 16 is 0x50,000, so the address 5000:018A is equivalent to the absolute address 0x5018A. Oh, okay, 50,000 plus 018A makes, okay, yeah. If we want to store a number in the computer's memory and retrieve it later, we can store the number in a specific memory address, note that address, then retrieve the number later from that same address, assuming we haven't turned the machine off or otherwise erased the content of the memory in the meantime. And in fact, this is exactly what we are doing when we use variables in high-level language such as C. The variable represents a memory address, and the statement that assigns a value to the variables stores a numeric value at that address. Of course, we'd never need to know exactly what memory address the value was stored at. It's the job of the C compiler to worry about that. Even in assembly language, we generally give symbolic names to memory addresses and let the assembler worry about what addresses those names represent. Pointing at memory. There are occasions, though, when we need to store a value in, or retrieve a value from, a specific memory address, especially when we are dealing with video memory, which we'll discuss in more detail in just a moment. In C, we can do this with the help of pointers. The pointer is a variable that points at a value somewhere in the computer's memory. The pointer itself is equal to the address at which the value is stored, but we can dereference the pointer using the indirection operator to obtain the value stored at that address. Here's a short program that demonstrates the use of pointers.
It was at that moment that Timmy realized something quite surprising. He saw the code written in the textbook, and he could understand it way better than he had any right to, never having actually coded in his life.
That's weird. I guess I must have a knack for it or something.
Timmy thought, if only he knew what was really happening.
So we define a variable that's an integer. We define a pointer pointing to the address of that variable. We set the pointer to be 3. And then we print the variable of the integer, the variable of the pointer, the address at which the pointer is pointing, which is point var, and the address represented by the variable and int var. The first line of the main function creates an integer value called int var. The second line creates a pointer to type int called point var and uses the address operator ampersand to set this pointer equal to the address of int var. Finally, the program prints out the value of the variable int var, to which you'll notice we have not yet directly assigned a value, the value pointed to by point var using the deference operator, and the actual value of point var, that is the address to which point var is pointing. We could type this program and compile it with Borland C++ to find out what values are pointed out. Or you can read ahead and find out the easy way. But can you predict in advance what values each of these will have? Don't worry if you can figure out the address to which point var is pointing, since this is arbitrary and unpredictable. I'm going to try myself and see what I get. This would also be good practice to make sure I know how to use the program,
thought Timmy. And a few minutes later, he was found sitting at his PC, with Borland C++ open and the little program that you find in the textbook already coded in.
Alright, so I have coded the program and compiled. And the result, the value of int_var is 3. The value of point_var is 3. Point_var is pointing at FFF2. The rest represented by the variable is -40. Okay, makes sense, right? We start int_var, then we make point_var point to it. So we change the value of point_var, that's gonna change the value of int_var. But point_var is at a different address, and then where int_var is located. Yeah, makes sense. Hey, Tommy, I'm working on the computer, so please don't touch it, okay? Alright, let's get back to reading the book now. The value of int_var is 3, the value of point_var is 3, the address at which point_var is pointing is FFF4, the address represented by the variable int_var is FFF4. Wait. Note that int_var is taking on the same value as point_var. That's because, as far as C++ is concerned, these are the same variables. When we use the difference operator in front of the name of point_var, it tells the compiler to treat point_var as though it were a variable stored at the address currently stored in point_var, in this case FFF4. Since this is the same address represented by int_var, as you'll notice above, setting point_var equal to 3 is equivalent to setting int_var without a difference operator equal to 3. Am I supposed to get the same addresses there? Yeah, I think this is just a mistake in the book. Boy, not a good start if there's a mistake at page 17. Let's go back to our comfy chair and read. Near and far. There are two types of pointers in most PC versions of C and C++. Near pointers and far pointers. Near pointers can only point at values within a 64K range. Far pointers can point at values anywhere in the first megabyte of the computer's memory. When compiling programs in certain memory models, such as the large model, which we'll use on all programs in this book, all pointers are automatically made far pointers. That's fortunate because our graphics function in this book often require far pointer. Of course, it's best not to rely on the compiler to make a pointer into a far pointer. You can use the far keyword, which goes into the variable declaration, to make a pointer a far pointer. Void far pointer. To set a specific address to a far pointer in Borland C++, we'll use the mk_fp make far pointer macro defined in the header file dos.h. For instance, to point a pointer at a char value in memory address 5000:018a, we would write char far difference operator, so star char pointer equals mk_fp, and then 0x, the first half of the address, 0x, second half of the address. We pass two values to the mkfp macro, the segment and the offset of the memory location to which we wish the pointer to point. In the above example, the value char pointer is pointed at a segment 5000 and offset 18a. Now we can use the dereference operator on this pointer to examine and alter the contents of memory location 5000:018a. For instance, to bring out the current contents of the location of a decimal number, we could write printf the current contents of address 5000:018a is %d, comma, star char pointer. Change the contents of the location to a value of 176, we could write star char pointer equals char 176. We've used the typecast parentheses char here to tell the compiler that we wish the value 176 to be a single byte value rather than a 2-byte integer. A typecast, which consists of C++ variable type in parentheses, tells the compiler to treat a data item of one type as though it were of another type. This isn't strictly necessary since the C++ compiler will automatically convert this integer into a byte value, but it helps make the code clearer. Now that we have a general idea of how PC memory works, let's take a closer look at video memory in particular. How bitmaps work. A moment ago, I asked where the video image transmitted to the monitor by the VGA adapter originates. The answer is video memory. What is video memory? VGA circuitry is constantly scanning a certain set of memory addresses in your PC and interpreting the contents of those memory addresses as the symbolic representation of a picture. It then renders this picture as an electronic video signal and outputs that signal to the monitor, which in turn converts the signal into a full-color image. See Figure 1.8 for an illustration of this process. It sees the memory, the VGA card reads it, and turns it into the picture. Okay. What form does the symbolic representation of a picture take? It depends, as you might guess, on what mode the VGA board is currently in. If it is in text mode, the contents of video memory are interpreted as a series of code numbers representing the 256 characters in the IBM character set, interspersed with attribute bytes which determine the color in which the characters are displayed. In graphics mode, on the other hand, the contents of the video memory take the form of a bitmap, which is one of the most important concepts in computer graphics programming. Though we usually treat the contents of the computer's memory as a series of bytes, in a bitmap we must view those bytes in terms of the individual binary digits, zeros and ones, that make them up. In a bitmap, specific patterns of 0 and 1s represent specific patterns of pixels. A two-color bitmap. In the simplest kind of bitmap, one that represents a video image containing only two colors, the value of each bit in each byte represents the state of a pixel in the image. The zeros usually represent pixels set to the background color, while the ones represent pixels set to the foreground color. For instance, here's a simple two-color bitmap of the letter Z. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 here. It gives a Z shape. This bitmap consists of 8 bytes of data, which would normally be arranged sequentially in the computer's memory. We have displayed it, however, as though the bits in those bytes were arranged in a rectangle with 8 pixels to a side. Bitmaps are almost always arranged in rectangular fashion on the video display. Two-color computer graphic displays, once quite common, are rapidly becoming obsolete. 16 and 256 color displays are now far more typical. An inexpensive graphics board already available that will put 16 million colors, or as many as these colors as will fit, on a VGA display. How do we represent multicolor displays with a bitmap? It's necessary to increase the number of bits per pixel. With 4-color display, for example, 2 bits represent a single pixel. There are 4 possible combinations of 2 bits, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1, so 4 bits can represent 4 possible colors. Similarly, 4 bits can represent 16 possible colors. Oh, I guess it means 2 bits can represent 4 colors, 4 bits can represent 16 colors. Mode 13H supports 256 colors, so 8 bits, an entire byte, are required to represent each pixel in the Mode 13H bitmap. This is a fortunate coincidence. Since the CPU naturally accesses memory values 8 bits at a time, this makes it quite easy to manipulate the Mode 13H bitmap. In effect, the Mode 13H display is a byte map rather than a bitmap, though for technical reasons the term bitmap is still used. Mode 13H memory. Every video adapter for PC compatibles contains a certain amount of memory. Most standard VGA adapters contain 256K of memory, but this memory only occupies 64K of memory addresses. What happens to the other 192K of memory? Fortunately, you don't need to worry about that. In Mode 13H, we can only use 64K of memory. The rest goes untouched, so you don't need to know where it is. When the VGA adapter is installed in a computer, all graphics bitmaps reside between memory addresses A000:0000 and A000:FFFF. Many video modes allow the bitmap to be moved around within this range, but Mode 13H does not. Because there are 64,000 pixels in the Mode 13H display, that's 320 columns of pixels times 200 rows of pixel, and each of these pixels is represented in the bitmap by a byte, the Mode 13H bitmap is 64,000 0xF7FF bytes long. It always occupies addresses A0000 through A0000 column, sorry, A000 colon 0000 through A000 colon F7FF. To put a picture on the Mode 13H screen, the programmer must change the values in this video memory until they represent the bitmap for the picture. We'll look at some working code that does precisely this in Chapter 3. Color palette. When we say that a certain video mode has a color depth of 2 or 4 or 16 or 256 colors, we mean that pixels and then many colors can appear together on the screen at one time. If you were to pull out your magnifying glass and count the colors on the screen in a 256 color mode, you would find 256 colors at most. You might well find fewer colors, since no less as a programmer has to use all of the colors available. But what colors are on the screen? Blue? Green? Chartreuse? Candy apple red? That's up to you, the programmer. The colors that appear on the screen are called the working palette, but you choose those colors from a larger palette. On the VGA adapter, you choose the working palette in graphics mode from an overall palette of 262 and 144, which is 256K colors. The VGA adapter includes a special set of 256 18-bit memory locations called the color registers. That 18-bit number is not a typo. These are special memory registers and are organized somewhat differently from ordinary computer memory. If we're drawing a picture on the Mode 13H display, you must first fill these locations with descriptions of the 256 colors you intend to use. How do you describe a color? All colors are made up of the three primary colors, red, green, and blue, or at least your visual system perceives them that way. Red, green, and blue are called the additive primary color, or primary colors of light. When working with pigments, which absorb and reflect light rather than producing it, we use a different set of primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. The VGA board produces colors by adding together specific amounts of red, green, and blue. There are 64 levels of each of these primary colors available, from 0, no color, or black, to 63, the brightest shade of that color. To describe a color, you use three numbers in this range, describing the red, blue, and green intensities that together make up the color. For instance, the color described by three numbers 000 is pure black, while color 63, 63, 63 is pure white. All other shades are between these two extremes. These three numbers together form a color descriptor. When 256 of these color descriptors are placed in VGA color registers, they define the colors of pixels in the Mode 13H bitmap. The color register 0, for example, is equivalent to the bitmap value 0, while the color register 1 is equivalent to the bitmap value 1, and so forth. Programming the VGA. The discussion so far has been mostly theoretical. You've probably been wondering just how you, a programmer, can change bitmap values and color registers values on the VGA board. There are essentially three ways. You can use the graphics library routines supplied with your compiler, you can call the routines in the VGA's video BIOS, or you can work directly with the hardware. We'll take a look at these three methods and then we'll give you some actual programming examples in Chapter 3. The Borland C++ compiler comes with a set of library functions called the Borland Graphics Interface, BGI. The BGI routines can greatly simplify your job as programmer, but the results are of limited utility at best, as shown in Figure 1.9. The BGI will set the VGA's graphic mode, set the color registers, even draw lines, squares, or circles on the screen. But its ability to perform animation is not great. The routines are fairly slow and are not optimized for animation, either 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional. That's not to say that it's impossible to perform animation with the BGI, just that the results are not of commercial quality. I recommend that you use BGI for drawing charts and graphs, but not for flight simulation or fast arcade games. Figure 1.9 says the frame rate required by Flight Simulator is much too high for slow graphic routines of the BGI. Not sure why the picture is supposed to explain that, but okay. The VGA board contains a ROM chip with many common graphic routines built in. The contents of this ROM chip are called the video BIOS. BIOS is short for Basic Input-Output System, The video BIOS is kind of an extension to the IBM standard Realm BIOS, which contains routines for performing non-graphic input and output. The programs that we develop in this book will call on the video BIOS to perform most of our initialization. We will use it, for instance, to set the video mode and the color registers. We will not be using it to draw images on the display, however. Like the BGI, the video BIOS is slow and not optimized for animation. Most of our actual drawing in this book will be done by interacting directly with the VGA hardware. After we've used the video BIOS to initialize the VGA board, we'll place values directly into the video memory to create images. We'll look at how this is done in Chapter 3. We've looked at graphics in this chapter from the standpoint of the graphics hardware, that is, a sequence of bytes in the computer's memory that becomes a graphic image when processed by the VGA board and output to the monitor. But there are other, more abstract ways of looking at graphics. These ways are often more useful. It is these more abstract methods, which owe more than a small debt to mathematics, that lead directly to three-dimensional graphics programming. We'll look at those methods in Chapter 2. Ugh, there's going to be a bunch of math, isn't there? I guess so, yeah. Chapter 2, the mathematics of animation. If you're like me, the mere glimpse of an equation in a computer programming text is enough to make you shut the volume, return it to the bookstore shelf, and sit down in the nearest chair until the trembling passes. That's why I've crammed this book as full as possible with solid, nutritious programming code, so that programmers with an intuitive grasp of higher mathematics will find plenty here to chew on. Thank goodness. Nonetheless, before we can get very far into the subject of 3D computer graphics or even 2D computer graphics, it is necessary to confront the frightening specter of mathematics, if only for a moment. But rest assured, before we skip to the next chapter, or put this book back on the bookstore shelf, that I've labored mightily to make this chapter as painless as possible. The truth is, the mathematics involved in 3D computer graphics isn't as difficult as it looks. Most of the tough stuff, working on the specific equations that are necessary for performing various transformations on three-dimensional objects, has already been done by others, so that all you need to do is figure out how to convert the various equations discovered by mathematical and programming pioneers into optimized computer code. Which is more easily said than done, but that's what we're here for, right? Before we embark on this brief magical math tour, I'd like to give you these words of encouragement. If I can understand the stuff, anybody can. Cartesian coordinates. In the last chapter, we consider computer graphics from the viewpoint of the computer hardware. We look at ways in which the hardware could be induced to put colored pixels on the computer's video display. Anyone who wants to program high-speed, state-of-the-art computer games needs to understand how computer graphics work from a hardware perspective. There is another way in which the programmer can, and occasionally must, look at the computer graphics display, as a slightly modified version of a Cartesian coordinate system. Legend has it that it was the 17th century French philosopher-mathematician René Descartes was lying in bed one day watching a fly buzz around the ceiling when he conceived the coordinate system that bears the Latinized version of his name. It occurred to Descartes that the position of the fly at any given instant could be described with only three numbers, each representing the insect's position relative to some fixed point, as shown in Figure 2.1. Later, he expanded or perhaps reduced this idea to include two-dimensional points on a plane, the position of which could be described with only two numbers for any given point. He included the idea in a long appendix to a book published in 1637. Despite being tucked away in the back of another book, Descartes' method of representing points on a plane and in space by numeric coordinates launched a new branch of mathematics combining features of geometry and algebra. It became known as analytic geometry. Figure 2.1, Descartes' fly can be pinpointed on any instant by three numbers. The Cartesian plane. You've probably run across or bumped up against the Cartesian coordinate system. Even if you haven't, you're about to bump up against it now. Don't be afraid. The Cartesian coordinate system is simple, elegant, and surprisingly useful in certain kinds of computer graphics. Because three-dimensional animation is one of the areas in which it is surprisingly useful, we're going to look at it here in some detail. Any number can be regarded as a point on a line. In geometry, a line, a theoretical concept that doesn't really exist in the real world, consists of an infinite number of points. And between any two of those points, there is also an infinite number of points. Thus, a line is infinitely divisible. No matter how much you chop it up, you can still chop it up some more. The system of real numbers is a lot like that too. Real numbers, roughly speaking, are numbers that can't have fractional values, numbers with decimal points in other words. C programmers will recognize real numbers as corresponding to the data type known as float, about which I'll have more to say later. There are an infinite number of real numbers, both positive and negative. Between any two of these real numbers, there are an infinite number of real numbers. The real number system, like a line, is infinitely divisible. Therefore, if we have a line that's infinitely long, which is allowed under the rules of geometry, we can find a point on it that corresponds to every real number. Although in practice it's not possible to conjure up a line that's infinitely long or even infinitely divisible, we can make do with approximations like the one in figure 2.2. This line, or rather a wooden ruler, has been marked off at intervals to denote the integers, that is, the whole numbers, from -5 to 5, with tick marks in between to denote tenths of a number. You probably remember seeing such lines in junior high school math class, where they were called number lines. Traditionally, the numbers in such a line become smaller to the left and larger to the right. We'll have to take it on faith that this number line can theoretically be extended to an infinite distance in the positive and negative directions. There isn't enough paper to draw the whole thing. However, we should have no trouble locating the points on this line for numbers such as -3, 5, 4.7, -2.1, and so forth. Of course, these are only the points on the line that have been indicated by tick marks. Between these points are points representing even more precise fractions, such as 0.063, -4.891, 1.11111, and even -2.7232422879434353455. In practice, if we started dividing the line up this finely, we would surpass the resolution of the printer's ink used to inscribe it on the page. So when we say that all these points are on the line, we're speaking theoretically, not literally. But on a perfect theoretical geometric line, there is a point corresponding to every real number. Whoa, this is kind of mind-blowing. Geometry meets... I guess I didn't look at the figures. A segment on an infinite number line, a vertical number line. Geometry meets algebra. It was Descartes' genius to see that this correspondence between points on a line and numbers allowed mathematicians to treat geometric concepts, that is, concepts involving points, lines, planes, three-dimensional space, and so forth, as numbers. To see how, look at the second number line, shown in figure 2.3, one that runs up and down instead of left and right. Such a vertical number line is traditional for numbers to grow larger going up the line and smaller going down. Computer programmers tend to reverse this tradition for pragmatic reasons. In figure 2.4, a vertical number line forms a cross with a horizontal number line, with the lines intersecting at the 0 point on both lines. Together, these lines describe what is sometimes called the Cartesian plane. Not only does every real number have a corresponding point on both these lines, but every pair of real numbers has a corresponding point on the rectangular plane upon which these lines are situated. For instance, the pair of numbers 3, 1 correspond to the point on the plane that is aligned with the 3 tick on the horizontal number line and the 1 tick on the vertical number line, as seen in figure 2.5. 3 and 1. Okay, makes sense. The number pair -4.2, 2.3 corresponds to the point that is aligned with the -4.2 tick on the horizontal line and the 2.3 tick on the vertical number line, as in figure 2.6, and so forth. -4.2, 2.3. Okay. The first number in such a pair is always the one aligned with a point on the horizontal line, and the second number, the one aligned with a point on the vertical line. Just as there are an infinite number of points on a line, so there are an infinite number of points on a plane, each of which can be described by a different pair of numbers. A pair of numbers that corresponds to a point on a Cartesian plane is called a coordinate pair, or just plain coordinates. Using pairs of coordinates, it was possible for Descartes to give a precise numerical description of hitherto vague geometrical concepts. Not only can a point be described as a pair of coordinates, a line can be described by two pairs of coordinates representing the endpoints of a line. The line in figure 2.7, for instance, extends from the point with coordinates 2, 2 to the points with coordinates 4, 4. Thus, we can describe the line with the coordinate pair 2, 2 and 4, 4. Other shapes could also be described numerically, as we'll see in a moment. Didn't they say that lines are infinite? I guess that's just a segment of a line, but still, yeah, that makes sense. The two number lines used to establish the position of points on the plane are called the axes. For historical reasons, coordinate pairs are commonly represented by the variables x and y, as in x, y. For this reason, the coordinates themselves are frequently referred to as the xy coordinates. The first horizontal coordinate of the pair is known as the x-coordinate, and the second vertical coordinate of the pair as the y-coordinate. It follows that the horizontal axis, the one used to locate the position of the x-coordinate, is referred to as the x-axis, and the vertical axis, the one used to locate the position of the y-coordinate, is referred to as the y-axis. The two axes always cross at the 0 point on both. Because all points are numbered relative to the 0, 0 point, it is called the origin of the coordinate system. Coordinates on the computer. So what does this have to do with computer graphics? Well, the surface of the computer display is a plane, and the graphics that we draw on it are made up of points, the pixels on that plane. There are an infinite number of pixels on the display. In Mode 13H, for instance, there is only 64,000, but the video display is still a good approximation of a Cartesian plane. It follows that we can specify the position on any point on the display by a pair of coordinates. This, in fact, is the common method of specifying the location of pixels, far more common than specifying the video RAM offsets corresponding to pixels, as I did in the last chapter. Although you can place the Cartesian axes anywhere on or off the display, it is commonly to regard the line of pixels at the top of the display as the x-axis, and the line of pixels running down the left side of the display as the y-axis. This puts the origin of the coordinate system in the upper left corner of the display. Thus, the pixel in that corner is said to be coordinate 0, 0. However, the programming convention is to orient the y-axis of the computer display upside down relative to a standard Cartesian y-axis, with numbers growing larger going down the x-axis. This convention probably arose because it corresponds to the way that the addresses of pixels in video RAM grow larger going down the display. As we'll see in a moment, orienting the coordinates in this manner simplifies the task of calculating the video RAM address of a pixel at a specific pair of coordinates on the display. If the coordinates of the pixel in the upper left corner of the display are 0, 0, then the coordinates of the pixel in the lower right corner of the Mode 13H display are 319, 199. Note that because we start with coordinates 1, 1 rather than 0, 0 rather than 1, 1, the coordinates of the pixels at the opposite extremes of the display are 1 short of the actual number of pixels in the horizontal and vertical dimension, which in Mode 13H are 320 and 200 respectively. All other pixels on the display are at coordinates between these two extremes. The black pixel in figure 2.8, for example, is at coordinates 217, 77. That is, it's located 217 pixels from the left side of the display and 77 pixels from the top. Most programming languages have built-in commands or library function for changing the color of a pixel on the display. This command is usually called something like plot or set. In Borland's BGI graphics package, it's called putPixel, and almost invariably the parameters passed to this command begin with the screen coordinates of the pixel whose color you wish to change. Okay, so 217 going right, 77 going down. Hello, boys, I'm home!
Timmy had been so absorbed by his reading that he missed the sound of his mom's car entering the garage. He put a bookmark to mark the spot he'd gotten to and went to give his mom a kiss.
Hi, Timmy, sweetie. Can you give me a hand unloading the car?
Timmy's luck had run out for the day. He had no way of anticipating the gleam in his mom's eyes, the one that said, "I have a bunch of chores to do and need one of my kids to help me complete them." Timmy mentally cursed his brother for not having come downstairs and resigned himself to his fate. At least he didn't try to finish the game this afternoon. Timmy helped his mom empty the car. Then he emptied the grocery bags and helped put all the food away. Then he helped prepare the vegetables for dinner. Then he helps set the table. Then he helps. 1 hour later, dinner is over. The boys got an extra serving of vegetables with it because
who knows what you ate for lunch, but there was definitely no fiber in it.
But they didn't mind, as their mother was a pretty good cook. As a recompense for his hard work, Timmy got to relax after dinner while his brother helped with the dishes. Would he have preferred to not have to spend an hour doing chores? Yes, of course. But he figured that
things have been going well for the last week. My luck was bound to turn at some point. Should start doing more chores around the neighborhood. Could really use some pocket money. Why are there so many good games coming out all the time? You'd need like a full-time job to be able to afford all these games. But then you wouldn't have enough time to play the games. I should have to finish some more games. Ever since we've gotten the PC and thanks to Nick, I have so many games to play and most of them are so long too.
Suddenly, Timmy was taken out from this train of thought by his brother, who had finished helping Mom putting the dishes away.
Ready to go upstairs, little bro? Sure thing, big bro. Can we go, Mom? Yes, have a fun evening, kids. And thank you both for all your help today.
The brothers ran upstairs, turned on the Super NES again, and got ready to finish what they started earlier that week, and took so much longer to wrap up than they originally intended.
Alright, bro, let's try and finish this. Oh, bro, I just realized it's not like we wasted a cabin because we needed it, but we could have just healed our MPs and HPs at the side of the shrine. Yeah, but you gotta walk from one side to the other, it takes forever, that's just no good. That's just no good. Yeah, I might as well. Can't believe Edge is still 43, 40, oh, 46. Okay, that's better. But still. Oof. He's been so unlucky. I know, every time we beat a giant boss, he's dead and doesn't get the XP. That's so unfair. Alright. Okay, nothing there. Nothing here. Okay, before we go down that way, let's go through these tunnels. Clearly for Kane. And a mail. Oh, that was it? No, not hidden or anything? I mean, I'll take it. All he's missing now is a weapon. Yeah, that's where we found the sword earlier, okay. E4. Oof. Ooh, we're chemists. We only have 10, I thought we had more. Okay. Alright, this way, nothing. Yeah, okay, nothing over here. Woo! Doesn't like fire at all, huh? No? Okay. What? What? Huh. These combat take so long. I know, bro, I know, but we need the experience. Especially for one of our party members. Ooh. At least we got a good strategy grow for these now. Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna try Cure 2. Nah, Cure 3 is really what we really want to do. Fatal. What is that, bro? Fatal. Take life. So, like, death or something? Alright, where's the passage? There's gotta be a drop or something. Oh! Ooh. We got the elixirs. Ooh. I think people with Entangle will just skip their turn altogether. Yeah. Let's use a couple of ethers. And then some healing. We're good. So I think, bro, maybe that's an ice dragon? Right, we got ice dragons and lightning dragons and probably fire dragons too? Oh! Yeah, you're probably right. Well, the ice dragons are babies then. Yeah, there's an entrance down there. Kinda hard to spot, but this is a way in. Do we need the healing? No, we're good. Okay. You never know when one of these chests might have a monster instead of a prize. Oh, so many fights. God. Monsters! Can you save? Oh, Behemoth! Wow, that's annoying. Once you figure out that he doesn't actually attack you, unless you attack it, it's not that hard, but... What do we get? What do we get? Stardust. It's probably like a black magic staff, right? I don't know, bro. It's not in the manual, as is usually the case these days. Ugh. It's actually not that much worse. Slightly less defense and thing, but... Yeah, I guess let's try it. Ooh, I want that. I want that. Through that cave, bro. I don't know how you get to the cave, but... Ooh. Ooh! Yeah, let's use it. Ooh. A crystal shield. That's a paladin special. Alright, we need to heal people. Yeah? Yeah. You know, I was worried this would be hard, but it's not hard, really. Just gotta be patient and go through it. Oh yeah, what does Nuke do? Let's see, Nuke... Nuclear attack for 99 MP. That sounds expensive. Probably you at this point. Yeah, this is better. Ooh. Creepy. I'm gonna assume that heal... Does heal work? Probably not. Oh, it just resets it. I mean, that's something. Apparently not. Oh, another one. Not great, but... I'm tempted. Let's do it. Let's do it. I think even Behemoth is not gonna do much. Bahamut is not gonna do much, but... Oh! I stand corrected! What do you get? What do we get? Crystal armor. That's weird. I don't trust that. Timmy, I bet you that Thunder is gonna heal him. You'll see. Huh. Well, I don't know what it was gonna do, but yeah, definitely not follow what he says is the lesson there. Crystal gloves. You also use him to heal people, I guess. Yeah, I'm not falling for that. Oh yeah, how much damage is she doing? I wasn't even thinking about that. Not a lot. Let me actually equip her back with her chain flame. That is for Rosa, 100%. Whoa, why did the count restart? What's in here? No, I'm not gonna give you what you want, you jerk. Nope. Yeah, I wouldn't risk it, bro. Just blow his ass with Bahamut. Yeah, I think you're right. I wanted to save the MP, but we do have some ethers, so... Why is there an empty platform here? I don't want to go down yet, because I saw a sword up there that we never actually managed to get. Yeah, no. If they let me... It's not worth the expense. Oh, and... Alright, this is not too hard. Oh, never mind. Crystal head. Let's go back up, bro. I feel like we missed something. see that. There's gotta be a way for us to get there. Oh, no thank you. Now we're in the trouble. Start testing walls everywhere. No. Okay. No, you're just not worth it. There you go! Do it go down? I feel like we must have. Yeah, we did. Is there a passage here somehow? Nope. Fine. Remember what you said, bro? We need to try and be stronger and level up, right? I guess. Do I? No. It looked like there was something there, but it was maybe just my imagination. Alright, let's fight him, I guess. No, this is worse. We're further down. Nope. Not you. Maybe there'll be a way to get there from further back, bro? I don't know. Maybe. I guess we're just gonna keep going. Let's bring out our sword for Edge. I would have liked to have it, but I guess it's not strictly necessary. Nah, I don't want to deal with two of them. Yeah, okay. I have no clue how to get there, so we're gonna skip it for now. I don't know why they're not dying. I mean, I don't mind. I just don't know. Okay, one more. Ooh. 6,500, that's a lot of damage. Eek. Okay. Eat at a time. Really nothing, huh? Okay. Alright, one more. Still doesn't feel right. And seal people before opening the chest. Ooh, Ninja Star, okay. Artemis arrows, good, good, good. Let's sword. So we didn't just start further up. Right there. Ooh, no, 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 no. Have they not given us a save point anywhere around here? It doesn't look like it, Timmy. No, we first go this way for the chest. Feels like one should be here soon. Oh my god. No, because I'm about to open a chest. Yeah, I knew. Oh no! Aaron. Alright, first of all, heal. Then... it's the best one for her, right? Let's see. Heroine... it's the best for both her and, Rosa. Though only Rosa can wear the white robe. So if you find a second one of the heroine, it's probably better to put it on. Otherwise, yeah, it's probably best with Rydia right now. Not worth it. Sure. Whoa, bro, did Rydia get super fast with the new thing? Yeah, maybe. She was first here for some reason. Sure, just because he doesn't really hurt me anyway. Ah, finally! Yeah, okay. Woe to those who seek to gain the Lance of White. Oh, okay. One of these. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Okay. Maybe if we start off with Bahamut. No. Not with the thing I'm about to fight. Okay. Did they say anything about Count? Can I heal Count? We don't have count, it looks like. Oh, okay, let's try again. But we might need to skip this one, Timmy. I'm not sure what. Oh my god. I don't know how we did it, but we did it. Yeah, I might as well actually. Alright, with Kane with his new weapon. This one, right? Yeah. Oh, actually save. But I don't want to do that again. The secret ribbon shall not be within your hands. Ah, this should be easy enough. Oh, uh-oh. Muhammad doesn't care about the wall, but I think White does. That'll teach me to use magic. Well. Oof. These must be for the girls. 100%. We couldn't go anywhere here, right? No secret passage or anything, okay. Still thinking about that sword, bro? You know it, bro. It is what it is. Bro, we're gonna have so much money to spend by the end of this and nothing to spend it on. No shops to get to either, I bet. No. Okay. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, music change. Are we there yet? Let's just ice one, bro. I want to make sure it actually hurts him and not kill him. Okay. Because the white dragon got healed by the fire, so you never know with these. Ooh. Well, doesn't matter, he's dead. Oh, no. We're not doing this over and over and over. Yep. Okay. This one I can jig. No, you parry. Alright, let's heal. Because there's definitely gonna be a monster in this chest. No way there isn't. Oh, there wasn't! That's a good surprise, bro. That's when that happens. You think that you, the ones from the blue planet, can handle this blade of black, Masamune? Ooh. Oof. Damn it! Okay. Not the greatest, but we're still up, still up. Oh boy. Hey! Let's play it safe, bro. Oh. Not letting me warp back, huh? Oh, I don't know what that is. I don't like it. Oh, that's what he does. Oh, and I can't aim for a specific person because of the walls. Oh! What happened to the walls? Oh, he's putting them back now. Okay, well, he's dead. No, I think we should go back. Starting to be really low on magic. Ah, let's go down. Nope. Or nope. No, let's go up. I want to save. Not again. It's okay, bro. Take your time. It's fine. I know. I just... Ooh. Alright. Up and around. I don't want to waste any time with these, so let's just go save. Nope. Alright, bro, I think the time has come. I don't know that we're as leveled as I would like, but we're all more or less balanced now. Edge caught up. Let's just go all the way down. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but we're gonna try and avoid battles, unless they're easy wins. Alright, bro, I'm ready. I'm ready for this to be over, yeah. Ah, you have to fight. You're not gonna hurt me. Still mad about the missing sword, but I have no idea how to get there, so... we're just gonna do without. Nope. Nope. Alright. Nope. Elixir. Okay, that's good. Nope. Hey, by the way, Timmy, can you check the manual again? What's up, bro? Is there any way to disable that wall thing? Like, it's driving me crazy. There's gotta be a way to. Well, mute disables magic. Peep checks ability, wall bounce magic back. Float avoids quick attack. But otherwise, no, yeah, I don't, it doesn't look like there's anything that lets you, like, cancel out a spell. What about the black magic? There's a weekend spell, which, as we saw, just reduces HP. You never use nuclear attack, so that could be cool, but, Yeah, there's nothing for you to cancel out that wall. Sorry, bro. Feels like an oversight. Whistle? Oh, that's nice. What does he have that I can take? Not a lot. Alright. Nope. Bro, I think you should heal some of your party members. Yeah, I saw that. That's annoying, but we can take care of that. Honestly, that validates my decision not to actually fight these, enemies. Are they gonna let me flee? I don't think so, huh? Oh no, they will. Okay. Ninja Star. Ninja Star. Ooh. Definitely not, please. Please? Nope. I don't even know what that is, but no. Nope. You know, maybe we should have used Peep more. I guess most enemies don't have weak points, but it would have been nice to know what the weak points of these enemies would be. Is it a black magic? No, it's a white magic. Peep. Did that not work? I feel like it didn't work. See, bro, that's what I get for trying to actually fight. Hell no. Oh. Golbez! Fusoya! To the media now! I'm ready. Silly. W media. This is just the beginning. Oh, sweet, they beat it. So we're done, right? We won the game. I don't know, Timmy. I don't think they would let us get off without fighting the actual last boss. But I will say, with no save points, I'm glad I did not fight anything on the way down. We defeated him. It's a pity. He was consumed with evil and could not use his powers for good. Right on. Oh, you're here. Man, I was to get Zemus. Cecil. Cecil. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. I am the absolute dark substance, product of Zemus's hatred. My name is Zeramus. I am the hatred. Death only increased Zemus's hatred. Zemus, or shall I say Zeramus, I'll cast you back where you belong. Be gone! Whoop. No, that's not working, guys. It's no use. Use the crystal! Crystal. You, the man of darkness using it, does not mean anything to me, you fools. Oh, they got immediate back. Whoops. Suffer and perish. My hatred will last until I destroy all. Now it's your turn. Come into my darkness. Master, they're in danger. Now's the time to wish for the earth. Halum, Horum, we shall send people's wishes to Cecil. Cecil. Show us what true courage is. We are all waiting for you. Come back alive. For Mother Earth. Stand up. You're our last hope. Wake up, dude. Cecil and everyone. Moon, answer our wish. But brother! Cecil, use this. Receive the crystal. Zeramus, for all those living on the earth, I will destroy you. Cecil! Here's our power. Receive the vitality. Oh, you couldn't, like, heal me fully? Oh, okay. Do your best. Don't give up. Receive the energy. Oh, I guess the old man is the only one that's actually dead, huh? Oh, there's gonna be more people showing up in spirit. Concentrate. Hold on to it. Receive the energy. Bless him, Moon. My dear brother, let your sacred power be with the crystal. Zeromus, it's the end. Gee, I wonder what we need to do first, bro. I'm gonna go with use the crystal. Whoa, bro, that was such a good call, bro. Thanks, I'm very perceptive that way. It was a very tricky thing and hidden thing to do. His true colors emerged. Oh, gross. Dart. Take that. Switch these with better arrows. Welp. Call. Let's hope you survive this time. Yeah, that works. Oh. Magic's become invalid. Do you think that also applies to summons? I don't know, bro. I hope not. But I guess we'll see. Right now. No, okay. That's fine. Let's try it. Oh, everybody got virus? Oh, that's annoying. Oof. Ooh. No, wait. Oh, we're out of things to throw, are we? Yeah, okay. Let's use a full cure 4 on him. Why not? Good timing, too. Let's fight. So we can heal again. Get fast on her. And pop an elixir. Ah, forgot I jumped. Oh, another Big Bang? Yeah. just fight him so I can heal him, hopefully soon. Oh boy. Okay. Only hit one of them? It'll be fine. You did it, bro! We did it together, Timmy. Woo! Oh, that fight got tense, I'm not gonna lie. We started off well, and then we kinda lost it a little bit, and we were just trying to keep up. But, whew! I'm glad I saved all those elixirs throughout the game. I will not perish as long as there is evil in the hearts of people. Puff. Well done. I didn't know you people had such power. Your people might have been further along than us Lunarians. No doubt. But Zero missed last words. As long as there is evil in the hearts of people, evil in our minds will never disappear. We all have both evil and good in our mind. Just as there are the crystals of light and darkness, the ground and underground. But as long as evil exists, so does good. Just as you held good in your heart to fight evil. You're right, man. It's hard to believe Zamus didn't use you instead. Ha, don't worry. Goodness is my middle name. I must now return to my sleep. You? We'll go back to our planet. There are people waiting for us. I see. You have great comrades. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. May I go with you? You? I cannot go back to the Earth considering what I have done. Besides, I would like to see my father's people. If you wish, but it will be a very long sleep. I understand. Thanks, Cecil, for calling me brother. I know you can't forgive or forget what I've done. I caused you so much pain. We must go now. Live in peace. Now let us go. Yes. Cecil. It's your last chance, Cecil. Say it! Goodbye. Cecil! Goodbye, brother. Cecil. Whoa. Oh, hey, that's Earth with 2 moons. Look at that. Looks weird. One to be born from a dragon, foisting the light and the dark, arises high up in the sky to the still land. Veiling the moon with the light of eternity, it brings another promise to Mother Earth with a bounty and mercy. The moon has just started to seek for its own light. Oh, they're back! Oh, and we lost a ship? That's kinda lame, though. Let's start today's lesson. Yes, Master. I cannot skip, it's automatic. Where's Palom? Not again, I will fetch him. You know, it was then I cast eyes to open Mount Ordeals. How? Ouch! Enough of your boasting, Elder is waiting for you. I think Palom was hitting on that girl. How many times do I have to tell you not to skip lessons? Here's your homework. Please, no! Haha, that serves you right. To begin with, Your Highness lacks self-awareness of being the successor to the throne. Don't worry. I will not if you stop dating girls all the time. Okay, okay. Please do what you say for a change. But I can find no girl more beautiful than you in this world, Regia. Whoa, someone's in love. Your Highness! Astro, I had not expected her to come back here. Amazing girl. Regia! Why don't you have any fangs like us, Regia? Are we different? Come on, there's nothing different between us. It sure will be fun around here. Yes, and she's beautiful. The heart is what's important. Right, Cecil? Yang's wife, honey! Stop calling me that, you're a queen now. But I don't like such formalities. Whoops, it's time for training. Let's go. Let's shoot. So do you. I'm sure that Yang will reveal the fabulous Fable. Prince Edward. Let us listen to the Minstrelsy of Paladin. Sure, but let's finish today's work before that. Don't you want to rebuild our castle? Yes, promise. Anna. Watch me from up there, Anna. I have the people of Damsian with me. I hope Tella will keep you company. Lolly hole! Work hard! Rebuild our castle as soon as possible. King, we haven't got enough materials for that. Scrap the tanks. There won't be another war. Father, I wonder what Cecil and others are doing. I received good news. Cecil was sent to the Baronian throne with Rosa as the queen. Really? And we're invited to their ceremony. How nice! You are loafing on the job, Your Majesty. Scrap the tanks! Lovely hole! Cecil, Rosa. Forgive my absence. I must strengthen myself to be a true dragoon before going back. Until then. Oh. What? The moon. What about the moon? I don't know. This looks kind of cool, though. You know, being able to show the Earth rotating around the sun. That's a pretty good, good visual. Slow down. It's leaving. Like a giant meteor. Cecil? Nothing. I thought I heard my brother's voice. Really? Never mind. Hey, what are you doing? They're all waiting for you. Sorry. You have plenty of time later to spend together, Rosa. Or shall I say, Qui? Rosa is fine. Okay, Rosa, the bride needs to make up. The maids are waiting. Hurry up! Okay. It's been a while since we last saw them. They must be coming now. Hurry, Cecil. I did hear him. He said goodbye. Classic Palom. Classic Palom. Ooh, someone's not looking at Rydia. That was a cool ending. Yeah, no, I like that they showed us what all the people were up to. That was pretty cool. Alright, bro, I think that that does it. Thank you so much for playing this one with me. I really had a good time. Yeah, me too, bro. I like this. We might need to play some other games together at some point. Because it was really nice to just sit here with you and get through the good and the bad parts of the game with you. Aw, thanks, bro. I love you. I love you too, little bro. Do you think we should sell the game? Oh. Yeah, you know, like, unlike Final Fantasy, this one... Like, it's more of a fixed story. I don't know that you could replay it and experience something significantly different, so... Yeah, maybe we should resell it. We could get some good money for it and buy something new. Yeah, what were we... What's new that we're thinking of? I think Contra was pretty cool. Yeah, or that Star Fox game also looked pretty cool. We might be able to get it by just trading this in and chipping in a few extra bucks. Yeah, that's good. Well, let's enjoy the rest of the credits. I wonder what order these credits are on. Yeah, not sure. Get K's, then I's, then K's again. The end. Bro, I don't think it's gonna take us back to the main menu. I think you'll just have to shut down the console. Oh yeah, you're probably right. Well, little bro, that's a wrap on Final Fantasy 2. What do you think? Yeah, it was fun. I especially like playing it with you, bit bro. We should do the same when the next Final Fantasy game comes out. Yeah, you're right. It was fun. I liked it. I promise you, we'll do this again.
Said Tommy in a moment of tenderness, ruffling Timmy's hair.
Hey, stop it! You know I don't like it when you do that.
Protested Timmy, though he had perceived the sweetness of the moment and was more protesting to keep face than because he actually meant it.
So, what do you think? Should we actually sell the game out? So, what do you think? Should we actually sell the game or keep it?
Timmy was conflicted. On the one hand, he hated selling games back, because what if he wanted to replay the game at some point? Like, he was still gonna have plenty of fun with Shadowgate, even though he had just beaten it. But he remembered his post-dinner pre-game thoughts and said,
Yeah, I think so. Like we said, it was cool, but I don't think we'd want to replay it anytime soon, given that you can't really choose your party. And, like, it would be fun to play it again in a year, but we can get $24 for it at Mr. Anderson's right now. And we can get a new game that will give us a lot of fun tomorrow, or, soon, instead of in 1 year. Is there a game that recently came out that you'd really like to buy? Let me go pull out the last couple issues of Nintendo Power.
Tommy went rummaging through the magazine stack and came back a few minutes later with the latest issue in hand.
Looking at the top 20, we have the big ones. You talked about Star Fox. Oh yeah, that one's fun, but John has it, so we can just borrow it from him. At least while he has it. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't seem to be worth buying it. Um, yeah, no, like Super Mario World we have. Super Star Wars, I guess, would be cool, but I don't know. I don't really feel the need for it. TMNT 4, yeah, those games are fun, but they're also pretty short. Ooh, Contra 3 would be good. I think it's a bit older though. But yeah, that would be probably a fun one to get. The one game I do want is the new Zelda for Game Boy, but if it's not on a Nintendo Power, it's probably not in stores either. I mean, you never know, but I doubt Mr. Anderson would have it before Christmas anyway. Maybe we should just go ask Mom to drive us to the mall in a couple of days. They're about to have a bigger selection of older titles, and we could get an older game for only $30 or so. With the 24 that we're going to get back for Final Fantasy 2, that means it's only going to cost us $3 each. And Super Castlevania 4 or Contra 3, I think would be both pretty cool games to get. Yeah, that's a good idea. And you mentioned it. I think Contra 3 is worth picking up. Yeah, I mean, the old Contra is so fun. Let's go for that one. Oh, you know what else? At the mall, there's a big arcade too. Much better than just a couple of old machines half broken that we played with at Joe's Pizza. Why don't we ask Mom tomorrow if she takes us to the mall? Tomorrow I can't. Also, don't you have to work in the morning? Oh, yeah, that's right. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Thursday? Yeah, that's a good idea. I have the sleepover on Friday night, so it would be nice to have Contra 3 by the time the sleepover happens. Alright, then it's settled. We'll ask Mom tomorrow if she can take us to the mall on Thursday. Good idea, little bro. Thanks, big bro.
Timmy looked at the time and realized his parents would be up very soon to send him to bed.
Let's start getting ready for bed. Mom is gonna call out soon. Yeah, you're right. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty tired after all this monster slaying.
Satisfied with his day, excited at the idea of learning more about programming, and believe it or not, math, and spending the afternoon at Jason's, Timmy was in bed and fast asleep in but a few minutes. And as he drifts into dreamland, seconds become minutes, and minutes become hours, and Tuesday night gives way to Wednesday morning.